Okay. Hi, Paul. How are you?
I'm good, Miss Selena. How are you?
Good, good. So I see that you have been complaining of chronic buttocks pain or pain in your backside. Could you maybe tell me a little bit more about that?
Yes, ma'am. Well, it started a few weeks ago, and it wasn't too bad when I first started off, but now it's making it really difficult to run. I tried to run through it, but the coach made me come in and set up this call for you to eval me, and apparently it's affecting the way I run and stuff.
Okay. So you mentioned that you run and you mentioned a coach. So what sport do you play?
I am in the cross country,
Okay.
um, so I've been doing that for all the 4 years that I've been here. Um, and it's I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be a problem, but it's just not going away.
Okay. And so you mentioned you've been running for 4 years. So are you a senior this year?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, so have you ever had this problem before?
No, this is all new. I've never had this problem before.
Have you had any other previous history of any other issues?
Um,
Medical problems?
yeah, like I guess the doc told me I pulled my leg back my leg when I was a freshman, and that put me out for a while. Um, it was a few months there. It was pretty bad, I guess.
When you say folded your leg, like, okay, so you
Oh,
remember
I
what
pulled my leg. Sorry,
you pulled?
pulled it. Yeah.
Okay, so do you remember which muscles it was? Muscle?
In the back, I think it was in the back.
All right. And how was your recovery with that? Pretty good?
Yeah, I haven't had any problems with it, um, but I did rehab for a while. I want to say it was like 2 months or something like that of rehab. It was forever. It felt like, but it was just really hard to get back running, because it's your leg and it's really hard to do
Right,
all those miles with your leg hurting you. So it took me a
right,
while.
right. So you're a cross country runner, and ever since you've been having this problem, have you been running more or less?
No, I've been trying to do the same.
Mhm.
Generally, like the uh, the loop that we do is the practice loop is about 3 or so miles, and I've been trying to do that, but the times are getting worse and it's getting harder, and it's getting me. When I finish, it's just so painful.
Right. Okay. All right. Do you have any family history that you would like to tell me about or that you think that I should know?
What kind of family history?
Any general major medical issues?
I think my mom
Commonality?
had an ACL tear.
Okay.
That was like forever ago.
That is okay. Right. Do you have any siblings?
No.
Nope. You're the only child?
Yes, Sam.
All right. Okay. And what do you do for fun? I mean, or what do you do outside of school besides just your sport? Do you have a job? Do you play any other sports in your free time?
Well, I do the track when I'm not doing the cross country, but then I also work at the sheriff's department part time.
Okay. And how's this pain been affecting your work?
When I'm sitting there on the computer for a long time, it
Hmm.
really hurts.
Okay.
When I'm sitting down there in the chair.
Okay, and have you done anything for this? I mean, I know that it's been going on for several weeks. Have you done any treatment, such as ice or tried to rest when you can, or stretching or anything?
I've just been trying to ice it, but it doesn't really help a whole lot.
Okay. How often do you ice?
Right after we practice, I'll put it on there for a few minutes.
Okay. And have you talked to your coach about this?
Yeah, he's the one that made me come in and talk to
Oh,
you.
that's right. What do they think? Like, I mean, have
Uh,
they suggested anything in the process for you or accommodated you?
we tried to do like some warm up stuff and trying to loosen up a little bit more, but that doesn't really seem to be making any difference.
All right. And since you were in school, I'm assuming that sitting in school is also pretty painful.
Yeah, I definitely get pretty sore at the end of class. I got to get up and move around a little bit, and it kind of goes away. But yeah,
Okay.
it's like every class it does that.
And I think last question before we get into the cool details. Are you on any medications, Paul?
Um, no, I'm not on any medications.
Okay, so um, the area that you have been having pain in, which side is it?
My left side.
Your left side. And it's just, does it stay in your buttocks area or does it go into your lower back or your leg?
Yeah, it definitely burns down to my leg, and I kind of feel it up in my back a little bit, but
How far down does
mostly
it
just
go
burns
into?
down.
What'd you say?
Mostly just burns down my leg. Yeah.
Okay. How far down does it go?
It goes all the way down, like in that lower part of my leg, I guess.
And you described it as a burning sensation, correct?
Yeah, it just feels like it's burning in there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you feel like you ever have any numbness or tingling?
Um, doesn't really go numb, but it like tingles. Yeah.
Tingles. And then you said a little bit in your lower back.
Yeah, not too bad down in my back.
Have you, I mean, I'm assuming you probably looked at that area in the past, or if you have not, do you notice if there's any discoloration or swelling of any kind?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
Hmm.
And if you could feel around that area for me, like into from your lower back area into the area where the pain starts, does it hurt when you are just feeling around?
Yeah, it feels like there's a big old like I don't know. I feel like there's something in there. Like I'm pushing on it, and then makes it kind of makes it hurt a little bit.
So you feel like you can feel something?
Yeah, there's something in there.
Does it almost feel like tightness? I don't know if you know what muscle tightness feels like, but
Yeah,
um,
kind of like when I feel it in my hamstrings too. It feels tight. So I guess like yeah, it does feel like tightness. Like when I'm pushing on it,
yeah.
like right in my butt. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So think of where I want to go from here. So, um, what I would like you to do is, do you have a place like floor space or something that you can lay down on your back?
Yes, I do.
Okay, could you go ahead and do that for me?
Sure, I can do that.
Okay.
Oh, Ugh. Okay, I'm on the floor.
Okay. So I want you to lay down and just keep your legs straight. So just relaxed.
Okay.
And then I want you to, you said it's your left side. So I want you to raise your right side, raise your right leg straight up.
Ugh.
You get it to about 90?
Oh, we go all the way back?
Yes, please.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Raise
Sit
it
up.
straight up as far as you can. Perfect.
Up
Okay.
there.
Can you do the other one, please?
Oh, that.
Right. Do you feel tight, Rob? Or
Yeah,
Paul?
it feels like it's tight.
Okay. Go ahead and put it back down. Now I want you to raise your right leg again
Okay.
and then bend your knee and then bring your leg as close to your body as you can without holding it.
Oh, like this.
Yes. All right, good job. And then do the same with the other leg.
Oh, oh yeah.
That hurts?
Yeah.
Does that make the pain worse?
Yeah, especially like in my butt doing
Okay.
that one.
Okay, go ahead and relax. Um, Go ahead and sit up.
Okay.
And then I want you to stand up for me.
Sure.
And I guess I'll show you what I want. So
Okay.
I'll have you stand up and turn to the side. And yeah, you don't have to show me. I just want you to kind of do it, but that's good. And then I
Okay.
want you to kind of extend your upper back towards backwards. How does that feel?
That's not too bad.
Okay, and then kind of bend forward as if you're about to like go into touching your toes.
Okay.
How's that?
That doesn't bother me at all.
Okay, go ahead and stand up. While you're standing, take your right leg, and extend it backwards. So as if you're bringing your leg back.
Okay. I'm doing it. Can't tell.
I know, and then do the same with your left.
Okay.
How's that?
Burns a little bit, but not too bad.
Okay. So you said that this started about 3 weeks ago and it's progressively getting worse. But I'm just reiterating just for my own purpose. But you said that there's really not any pain in your lower back, correct?
Not too bad. No, just a little bit of pain.
Okay. Do you feel when you were doing range of motion, do you feel like you are naturally tight on both sides of your hips?
Yeah, I think that they both kind of feel like they're, I don't know, it stretches when I was doing stuff.
Okay. So both sides felt like you were stretching.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so if you were to touch both sides of your lower back, so reach your hands back and touch both sides of your lower back and your buttocks area, do you feel the same amount of pressure? Like, do you have normal feeling on both sides?
Yeah, just the left side feels like it's like that tightness we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, back feels fine.
Okay.
It feels the same if I go like that, and if I go like that, it feels the same.
Okay. All right, I'm just thinking for a second.
Sure.
This pain that you're feeling, do you think it's worse? So you said it's worse when you're sitting versus when you're standing.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were to rate your pain while sitting from 0 to 10, 10 being the most pain that you have ever experienced, the worst pain that you can experience. How would you rate it? 0 being no pain.
If I'm sitting on it, it's probably an 8.
Okay. And how about when you're standing or just walking around?
Um, Standing's isn't so bad. Walking, it's probably like a 6.
Okay. Okay. Trying to think if there's a few other questions I need to ask you. Mm, okay. Um, all right, so we're gonna do a couple specific tests.
Okay.
Um, so we already kind of had you lay on the floor and raise up your legs, which
Mm-hmm.
is fine. But do you have a chair nearby that you could sit on?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and sit on that chair.
I'm sitting.
Okay, so I want you to, let's start with your right leg. So your right leg is going to kind of stick out in front of you. So lift it up off the ground and just stick it out in front of you. It doesn't have to be straight, just okay. And then I
Okay.
want you to kind of slump over. All right, do you feel anything with that position?
No.
No?
Kind
Okay. And then
of. It kind of burns down in there, but it's not bad.
on your right leg?
Oh no, I was doing my left leg. I was supposed to do my right leg.
Yeah, we get both. Okay, so we can do the right leg. I just want to make sure that everything was normal on the right side.
Oh yeah. Okay. If I do that on my right side, no, I
Yes.
don't feel it at all.
Okay, so go ahead and go back to your left. So stick out your leg straight and then slump over. So really bad posture and then tuck your chin into your chest there. How's that?
Yeah. Ooh, my back doesn't hurt at all.
Okay. All right, but do you feel any like tingling or burning?
I think only because my leg is straight out.
Okay.
When I straighten my leg out, that's when it does it. Like when I just kind of sit like that, don't bother me. But when I stick it out,
Okay. Um and then go ahead and lay on your back one more time. And I think this could be the last one. Have you go all over the place.
yeah, getting up and down. That's real.
Exercise.
Getting up, getting down. Okay.
All right, so you're on your back. I want you to take your right leg and bring it to your chest. So bend your knee and bring it to your chest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay, how does that feel?
Feels like it's pretty tight.
Okay, and then do the same with your left.
Oh, I did it backwards.
How's that one feel?
Well, my right leg. I'm doing it with my right leg right now, and it doesn't feel too bad.
Does it
My
feel
left
like
leg, my left leg felt really tight.
felt like really tight? Okay.
Yeah.
Where does it feel tight?
My butt.
In your butt? All right. Okay, Paul, you can sit up and relax. All right. So, just to kind of go over, just to make sure that everything you said is correct. You've had this pain that started in your buttocks area. It
Yeah.
burned down the back of your leg
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, and it's worsened.
Yeah.
So, but you have pretty normal sensation or feeling on both sides, correct?
Yep.
and you are a cross country runner, but you've never
Hmm.
experienced this before. Um,
Yeah.
but you have a previous history of pulling a hamstring.
Yeah. And
And
we've been trying to stretch those hamstrings too, and
and
it's
when
not
we
making it help.
right, and when we did that range of motion, you seemed kind of tight. Um, did you feel tight? You couldn't go very
Yeah.
far? Yeah, when you
Mm.
were like raising your legs straight up?
Yeah, it felt pretty tight in my butt.
Okay. And you're really not having any pain in your lower back area.
No,
Okay.
not no.
And it seems like when we do certain tests, you feel more tightness in your left side than you do in your right, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Just based off of what you've told me, I know that we didn't really do too many tests. Kind of makes it a little difficult to do it over video chat, but still, based on what you told me, I believe that you could have piriformis syndrome, where you have this muscle in your buttocks that is pretty tight, and it's placing pressure on a bundle of nerves that runs through it, and therefore that's probably why that you are having kind of like that numbness or not numbness, but the burning sensation going down your leg.
Correct.
Um, and I'm not, since you have no pain in your lower back, I'm not necessarily worried about any other differential diagnosis at this point.
Okay.
So this is kind of how I think, this is what I think that you could have right now, based on your history and the examination that we could do.
Hmm.
So treatment for piriformis syndrome can be pretty simple. Um, so what we will do is, I know that you've been icing after practice, and it's like not really doing much. But you sit a lot, which can make your symptoms worse because
Hmm.
you're sitting on the muscle where it's the muscle that's already tight and compressing the nerves. So I think that we can address how often you sit. So that could be pretty simple. Um,
Okay.
so with that, what we can talk treatments, but I want to know like what are your goals? What are you thinking right now? What's something that you really want to get out of this?
Well, I'd like to be able to run without pain. It's just really hard to finish those races. Um, so I mean, definitely that, and then I'd like to be able to sit and not have pain as well. So I think that I guess the biggest thing is just finishing those races, though.
Finishing those races. Okay. And when is your next race?
We have um, we have a meet next week, and it's gonna be one of those region meets. So there'll be a bunch of those teams from the region. It's gonna count. And it's gonna be really important for me to get back there for that one if I can.
Right. Okay. All right. So treatment wise, you can do several things. So one, you can take, like we like to call them anti-inflammatories, but they're kind of like ibuprofen. I don't know if you've ever taken ibuprofen. If you do, that's something that you can take for helping with pain management. Advil as well. So that's something that you and your parents can discuss, and they can help you with that.
Okay.
Um, the other couple things that we can work on is massaging. So we can massage that tight area that you're feeling, and kind of help loosen it up. So a typical day of treatment could be heating for like 15 to 20 minutes and maybe massage that area. And then stretching is something big. So your range of motion wasn't too um, you were lacking in some range of motion. It looked like you were tight. And since you're feeling tightness, that indicates that we need to really work on stretching, increasing that range of motion. And then just some strengthening exercises in general for your hips and core area can always help.
Hmm.
Uh, so I would say that rehab, based off of heating and massage, Um, and stretching should occur at least 3 to 4 times a week. So, whatever your school schedule is, usually treatments occur right after school. So you can come right before practice, heat, and heat and stretch at least. And then if you have extra time that day, or it could be during the school day, if you have a study hall weekend, work on massaging that area. And then strengthening will add in a little bit later down the road. But right now, our goal is, I think, to help you be able to function in class and work. You sit a lot. So we already made a goal that you want to be pretty much pain-free by the time your next meet is. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's one goal to have. We can write that down. And then I'd say another goal is to maybe get your pain levels, your sitting pain levels down from an 8 out of 10 to, let's say, a 5 out of 10 by maybe the end of next week.
Okay.
How does that sound? So we'll kind of make little goals like that. And then that's something for you to look forward to and to measure yourself.
How long do you think it's going to take for me to get better?
If you are consistent and you come into rehab 3 to 4 times a week, and you take time to actually stretch and get a massage and heat and everything you need to do before practice, as well as we still will ice after practice if you're sore, then I would say within 2 to 3 weeks, you should start feeling pretty good results. So I usually say that if there's consistent rehab going on for at least 2 weeks and no results have been seen and your symptoms are still just as bad, then maybe we need to reevaluate and look at a couple of the other differential diagnosis, see maybe something else is going on in there. But I would say 2 to 3 weeks and you should start feeling decreased symptoms.
Okay.
I mean, even within 1 week, you could start feeling better. If you are
run?
What?
Think I'll be able to run next week?
You said it was the end of next week that the meet.
Yes.
Okay. I think that right now, knowing that if you are going to be dedicated to rehab next week, I think that you should be able to run.
Good.
I'm not sure, your pain might not be completely gone. It might still be uncomfortable, but if you are dedicated to rehab and you go to rehab, at least I would say your goal should be to go to rehab every day next week if you want to be able to feel better for the meet. Then you should have decreased pain. But, never know until we start, and never know until I see how consistent that you are.
Okay.
Okay?
Do that.
Do you have any other questions?
What kind of stuff am I going to be doing?
Okay.
In the rehab, kind of exercises and stuff?
So we're going to work on, so the first thing that you'll do when you come in, we'll just make a little list. So the first thing that you're going to do when you come in is you're going to heat for about 15 minutes. So you've seen those heating pads in the athletic training room? Okay, so you're going to use one of those and you're going to place it right over the buttocks area, and you're going to heat for probably like 15 minutes. And then you can probably get a little bit of a massage. Now, the massage might not occur every day. It might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. And then where the stretches that you'll be doing, so the range of motion that I had you do, where I had you lift up your legs and things like that. So we will do that, as well as we'll incorporate a little bit of foam rolling. Foam rolls are those round cylinder-like things that are literally made out of foam, and I'll have you foam roll that area most likely before we stretch for a few minutes. And then we'll go into stretching. So we'll stretch out your buttocks area, we'll stretch out the side of your hips, we'll stretch out the inside of your hips, and we'll stretch out your hamstrings especially because it seems like your hamstrings are pretty tight. And we'll probably even hit up the quad. So we're going to kind of do the whole area. We're going to be very
Okay.
thorough in stretching. And then that'll be the first couple days. The first few times you do rehab, it'll pretty much focus on stretching and heating and massage. And then we'll probably incorporate a little bit of hip strengthening and core strengthening in there, which always helps support that area. There could be the reason why the muscle is tight could be that it is weak as well, or other muscles around it are weak. So I always like to incorporate a little bit of strengthening.
Okay.
Sound like a plan?
That does, yes.
All right, Paul. Well, I can't wait to get started with you. And I'll have the plan all written out for you that way, and the goals as well. That way we have something to work towards together.
Okay.
All right. Sound
Thank
great.
you, Elena. Yep.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.